Hey, welcome to another Walk It Like I Talk It. But we're on the bench. First, in any relationship that you have, whether it be with God, yourself, or another person, there needs to be an equal balance of listening and talking. Then you need to be open to however way that information comes to you, whether it be from God, from your intuition, or from this other person. You got to be patient. So I used to talk to God and I would say 1,000 words a minute, and I would never give God any opportunity to communicate back to me. It would be like, this is what's going on. These are my tears. These are my problems. Fix it, Lord. Like, I didn't save any space or room and be open to what God wanted me to hear from him. And as I matured in my relationship with God and in building my own intuitive practices, I had to realize that sometimes the answers come in many ways. Lately for me, that's been through crying. So back when I went to Barbados last year, as soon as I landed back into the United States, I touched down in Florida. And I started crying immediately. A little bit of that was like, oh, well, I am in Florida. Like, no shade to the Floridians, but I'm like, why am I crying? Because I had a magical experience in Barbados. But 2 weeks after I landed back in America, I lost my job. And I know that my body knew this information before my mind was able to process it. I was doing so much meditation and sound baths in Barbados, like sitting there being quiet, understanding my body. It was like crazy. And that message I told y'all I received had me crying for weeks. And I'm like, why am I crying? I don't have any emotional attachment to this. Where are these feelings coming from? And it was because I was feeling shame. I was feeling like a loser. I was feeling foolish, naive. And it really started to pull up from the root the issues of feeling like hopeless. This is always going to happen to me. I can't get out of this situation. All of the things. And my body was telling me what it is that I needed to do, at least in this situation, to rectify my feelings of shame. Like, I'm always like, what can I do differently? And I think about it from the pre-situation happening, but the post-situation, I really usually have a hard time disconnecting and letting go of things because I have abandonment issues. But I went to church and this was the message. There's a difference between being broken physically versus being broken in your spirit. You've come to accept the condition so much that you don't believe that better will come. You've learned to grow accustomed to the broken space. You go through the motions to give the appearance of hope, but you're actually hopeless. You learn how to disguise and cover the hopelessness by doing a performance. Sometimes we discover ourselves through the challenges that we face, but you have to be willing to rise up and let these things go. That snatched me up because that was really the root. I am so tired of this narrative, and I have a friend that told me that it takes two people to go through a pattern and one person to stop this pattern. And while this narrative is is between me, negative self-talk, and positive self-talk, I need the positive self-talk to stop all of this. And I want to get out of this situation. I want to let go. I want to do all the things. I really do want different from myself. And like I mentioned, my abandonment wounds make it a little bit challenging for me to let go of things, especially if I can't have some kind of conversation about it. But I'm ready to move on. So here's what I'm doing to make these changes. First, I acknowledged what I was feeling was shame. Second, I'm deciding to honor my feelings. I feel the feels, I made the mistakes, but in honoring those feelings, now I'm third doing better self-talk. I am reparenting myself in this situation. It's okay to not know that this is what the outcome was going to be. It's okay to have positive intentions. It's okay to be a sweet person. It's okay to be loving, but it's also okay to overstand for yourself and set those boundaries. If something is making me cry weeks ahead of knowing some type of information, I need to honor that. And that's not what I do. I'd be like, oh, why am I crying? Oh, what's going on? You know what's going on. And there is a change that I need to make. I'm going to honor that. I'm going to do different things. I'm going to have different practices. I'm putting up boundaries. And now, in terms of the healing, I'm going to go on a beautiful walk and show my thanks and appreciation to all the things around me and hope for a better day. Seriously, hope for a better day. So I hope that this message makes sense to you. I hope that my transparency helps you, even sharing the scripture, and hope you have an amazing day. You got this.